What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Casual Commentators. This is a pretty important episode. I just want to preface it. So, the next, 8 videos that we're going to be making, Marco and I will be, in fact, in the same location filming together, which is fantastic. However, we're all going to be doing this on the same night. So, all of these videos are going to be wearing the same clothes. It's going to be the same quality. Apologies.
Different days, though.
Different days. Yeah, different days. It'll be
same outfits.
You know what? I sort of was thinking on the way over here. Because we chose a lot of different categories, but the problem was we chose current events, and so if we we have a Captain Marvel video.
We're gonna date ourselves with
yeah,
these
so we're
videos?
gonna be super dated because in a week and a half it's gonna be oh, why the Casual Commentators talking about a movie that came out a month ago?
That's how we do, man.
That's how we do. I made a review.
We make things relevant again.
Yeah, we do, dude. I made a review of a movie that came out in 2004. So
we're gonna release a video, and then it will come back into the mainstream media attention.
We affect current trends. I believe it. I believe it. So the first video that we're filming while we're together is the James Gunn rehire. This is another thing that's I'll get this one out first. I'll try to get this one out first. But Marco, James Gunn's back.
He's back!
Yeah, is he back, Ben?
He's pretty much back.
Yes. As a quick update for people who are a bit out of the loop with this, perhaps.
Right.
James Gunn, who was the writer and director of the first 2 Guardians of the Galaxy's movies, was fired from Disney sometime around November of last year due to tweets that were resurfaced from over 10 years ago that joked about pedophilia. Ooh.
The pedophilia got you.
Yeah, no, it
talking
got
about pedophilia
just even talking about it.
It's just so negative. It just really.
A bunch of tweets resurfaced about him joking about pedophilia and child abuse like that. Yeah, he got
canceled.
Hashtag
gone, man.
He was out of there, and Disney fired him and put a complete indefinite halt on the future of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And it was announced a couple weeks ago that he has officially been rehired, and he is back on it to do it. So
I like how when we're covering this, and we know that we're gonna release this later, and it's already late to cover it.
Yeah,
this
was announced a week ago. People have already talked about it.
Right, yeah, there's nothing new we can bring to the situation necessarily, but just because we had some thoughts of maybe a couple different angles to look at the situation.
And by the way, we were both very upset that he got fired.
We were, and
we thought it was ridiculous. The reasoning was very stupid.
In today's modern society, you gotta tread lightly, you gotta be on eggshells. And unfortunately, that's really caused a lot of issues for a lot of people. Not even celebrities, just people in general.
We live in a society where second chances don't exist.
Yeah, unfortunately,
which is really sad.
It is, and you've seen examples of this happen multiple times. The Aziz Ansari situation, the Kevin Hart situation, which I'm still sort of upset about. I'm glad that the Oscars went well. I like that they did go in a little bit of a different direction.
It was about to happen to Chris Pratt with his church.
Fair point,
He was on the verge of it happening, and then the steam kind of died down from it, so he kind of got off lucky.
He didn't get canceled.
No, he didn't get canceled.
Chris Pratt didn't get canceled. But that's the thing. It's such a offense. It's a fine line that people got to walk.
You can never make a mistake as a person. If you make one mistake, heaven forbid you ever do.
Yeah, no,
you're
and
done.
that's the thing. It's almost like for all the tech nerds out there that watch our show. Think of it like search engine optimization. So you can never escape it.
The thing with James Gunn that made it so sad is it happened 10 years ago, and he apologized for it 10 years ago, which, a lot of people would be like, okay, fine, he apologized, but if he kept doing it, it wouldn't matter. But the thing is, he stopped. Yeah, he never did it again. Ever since, he didn't even get called out for it for the first time. He realized what he was doing and, stopped doing it and said, I'm sorry, these jokes were fucked up, I'm not going to do it anymore.
Right.
And then he stopped doing it. You can go on Twitter, he never made another joke like it again. He learned his lesson and then went on to make, 2 movies that are very, telling of his almost autobiographical about people getting second chances and coming from nothing and doing something better. And, apparently that just was too little too late.
Wait, okay, so I think that's funny, though, that he caught himself and then everyone else tried to catch him.
He was like, no, I did this, guys. I understand.
He's like, guys, look, I know. You don't have to do it. No. But a couple of the pros and cons that we thought of one pro, obviously we've talked a little bit for a couple minutes now about the second chances aspect of it. That's really big. And it's sort of, for me, it's sort of telling Disney's, as a company, what their perspective is on these situations, sort of where they're going to fall on this spectrum of modern society, whether they're going to condemn people or whether they're going to be much more forgiving.
He got a very, very bum deal, a really shitty deal that was not his fault at all. It was his fault, but he shouldn't have had his career ruined for it.
Yeah,
and then, they came back, and after the massive outcry, there was more support towards him than I've ever seen towards anyone before. People were unanimously saying, like, hire him back.
Rehire,
He's the reason these movies are good, and he's, a changed person, and he's literally trying to be the best person he can. So seeing that they saw that and then rehired him is very good, and it shows that, people can be redeemed and changed as a person, but it also just kind of goes and says that Disney didn't really care in the first place. They were just trying to get, like, marketing, makes him look stupid, that they made this whole deal to fire him, and now they're back. And, they're indecisive, and it's like, well, if you're going to forgive him, you're going to have to forgive a lot of people in the future then, too, so where do you draw the line?
That's the problem.
So they just kind of screwed, they kind of made this whole, I'm very, very glad he's hired, but again, they just kind of created this whole, endless loop of, like, well, now if you, like, cancel another person for a stupid reason, you're going to have to hire him back. But, like, what if that person actually did do something wrong and then you hire him back? It's just a whole...
here's the thing. I definitely agree. I think it is a double-edged sword in the sense hiring him back, it looks good, but it calls into question why you fired him in the first place. Mm-hmm. What was the decision behind that? But at the same time, I don't know if it's necessarily a loop. I think that's going to be much more a case-by-case situation.
Yeah.
I think that Disney as a company would be smart enough to recognize that if this happens again with one of their actors, I don't think it's going to be a loop. You know what I'm saying? Because, well, I don't know. Because
if anything, they'll think very much harder about who they decide to fire.
They had the pro. During the time James Gunn had off from Guardians of the Galaxy, he's now slated to direct Suicide Squad 2.
Which was great news, by the way.
I'm happy about.
The first Suicide Squad sucked ass.
It's the biggest mess that DC's put out.
And
I'll say
James Gunn is a really good writer and director, so he would be able to, bring an actual good thing into that movie. So I was like, and he said he was gonna reboot all of it. They got rid of Will Smith. It's Idris Elba now.
I think that's one of your biggest points. They got Will Smith out.
I was fucking happy about that. I did not like Deadshot.
Are you kidding me?
I did not like
Deadshot.
Deadshot.
He was my favorite Bard.
Really? I can't believe the words are gonna come out of my mouth right now. But to me, the only there was two redeeming qualities of that movie, and it was Margot Robbie, obviously, because she was the best actor in it.
She wasn't. Will Smith was the best actor.
Captain Boomerang.
Okay.
Captain Boomerang was fucking hilarious.
Stupid.
I hate Jai Courtney. He sucks. He's an awful actor, but
that role you just resonated with
about Captain Boomerang. He stole the scenes. He was funny in it.
He was stupid. Everything about
they also killed Slipknot within 5 minutes of him punching a woman. He opened a door, he hit a woman, and then
he exploded.
And then he's like, "Oh, I can climb anything." And then they murder him.
I like to see the people that were doing the storyboarding for it, because it happens so quick in the movie. Yeah, where he punches a woman,
this is
and then the next scene,
it's like, this is Slipknot. He can punch anything. Oh, by the way, he also punches women, so women be careful around him.
Wasn't it he can climb anything?
He can climb. He's like a rock climber.
He can punch anything.
He shot a grappling hook at a building.
Wait, that's the thing. Wait, can't everybody climb anything?
I mean,
all he's using is a grappling hook.
So he's the same thing as Batman, but stupid.
It's like, well, here's the thing. It's like he literally made his superpower something that anyone can do with a grappling hook. It's like they're giving him that to him. They're like, he can climb anything.
Yeah, Slipknot watched Free Solo and was like, fuck, what do I have now?
But that's
talking about James Gunn.
We were talking about James Gunn and Suicide Squad too.
Yeah,
so
they fired. He was gonna completely reboot it. It was gonna be called The Suicide Squad. New characters, new story.
You're saying he's still doing it. So currently he's going to be doing Suicide Squad 2, and then production on Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is going to be happening. So I think honestly the reason I included this in a pro is just because James Gunn's gonna get a fat wallet by 2022. I mean, that guy's making so much money.
He's gonna improve a previously shitty IP.
And that's the thing. He's gonna have the chance to do, which I think is gonna retro. You know, once we get to that point, once Suicide Squad 2 comes out and Guardians of the Galaxy 3 comes out, people are gonna look back and be like, "Man, James Gunn is such a good director."
He knows what he's. We were stupid to ever think that firing him was a good
idea. We were stupid.
He straight up created, like, obviously with the exception of like the Avengers, he created the most popular Marvel movies.
Absolutely.
The first two Guardians of the Galaxy movies are probably the most crowd pleasing and
on like an entertainment scale, probably.
Yeah, like it's the most. For some reason, it's oddly the most family friendly, even though it's arguably one of the most crass movies because they like try and push kind of the edgy humor with that one. But
also sort of adult themes. I mean, Drax's entire family was murdered. Yeah. You know, I feel like it's sort of heavy for.
But like people just relate to that a lot. Like it gets like it's one of the highest grossing movies in the franchise. It's the one that people always talk about the most. Or like, oh, I hate superhero movies, but
could you imagine if Suicide Squad 2 was just Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3?
But on Earth?
Yeah. Which, okay, here's the thing. I mean, it's hard to knock their names because they do come from comics. They did originate a while ago.
But
when they were made, whatever idiot made those was like, yeah, Slipknot's a good idea for.
I like how we keep trying to talk about James Gunn, but we just keep going back to shitting on Suicide Squad.
The entire thing that I'm thinking about, I don't know what I'm gonna name this video because James Gunn rehire doesn't really fit what we've talked about.
Suicide Squad, good question mark.
Suicide Squad, fucking, I don't know. But the last. This is see, here's the thing, right? There's a lot of opportunities that I think this creates for both companies in the sense of, you said the word earlier, synergy between them. I think synergy. This really creates a good opportunity for, it's sort of like, not to go completely off the rails here like I did with the search engine optimization, but to go completely off the rails, in the MMA community.
Right, this is sort of, look, you gotta hang with me, right? Yeah, see where it's gonna come back in. So, what UFC, one of the MMA promotions, and one championship, another MMA promotion did, is they traded fighters. They only traded fighters. They traded the fighters. The fighters that they had, they're trading fighters. I mean, you can even fire more, I guess. Jay Courtney, yeah. That's all he deserves is Jay Courtney.
But I think it's sort of a similar situation between both DC and Marvel with this, because this isn't the first instance where they've traded an employee meaning someone working on the movies, of course. Zachary Levi, formerly in the Warriors 3, 4?
Mr. Fandral himself.
Mr. Fandral, he died pretty...
Best friend of Thor, killed off in 3 seconds in Thor Ragnarok with a knife to the chest.
And never mentioned again.
You know what?
Here's
you know what his only line in Thor Ragnarok was?
But it's not the first instance where we see a bit of that sort of trade between companies, and I think that in order to establish, because this is less about Marvel, this is more about the reestablishment of DC. We've seen post Justice League, they've really done a lot of work to fix their brand in the sense of making
they're not having the same director for every single movie.
Thank God. Sorry, all the people that like Zack Snyder. I'm not on that boat, and so
okay. He's a good director.
We can make a separate video about this. We can make a separate video.
I think Zack Snyder is talented. That's what they should be doing. I mean, that's basically what Marvel has been doing throughout their entire career. They're getting these small indie directors to do their movies. You know,
and indie actors. A lot of people didn't know.
I mean, Taika Waititi is an actor as well.
Fair point. Yeah, he's Korg.
And then you had the husband and wife pair of Ryan Fleck and Anna Boden directing Captain Marvel. They have done a bunch of indie movies as well. They take these really, really small time directors and give them a chance to put their style into their movies, and that's what they did with. That's how they found James Gunn. Was he kind of did these kind of like small B. Like, did you ever see Slither?
I did see Slither, yeah. And
Elizabeth Banks.
He's the guy who plays Yondu.
Michael Rooker.
Michael Rooker's in Slither.
Full circle. And that was something that DC never really had. So if James Gunn is gonna stick with Suicide Squad 2, who's to say that, maybe the Russo brothers don't direct.
That's what I'm saying. Justice League
2.
Maybe Zack Snyder comes over.
Zack Snyder goes to Marvel.
Who knows?
Yeah.
It really, that's the thing. It's
Zack Snyder directs Doctor Strange 2.
Zack Strange, Doctor Snyder.
BTS.
But that's the thing. The Korean K-pop.
Yes. It actually stands for behind the scenes. I bet you didn't know that.
Their band name
is called Behind the Scenes.
No, it doesn't. Does it actually?
I think it stands for Burn the Stage.
Neither of those. Because those aren't Korean.
Does it have to be? I don't know. It's probably something else in Korean. Be careful what you say next. Be very careful what you say next.
But that's sort of on a final note on the James Gunn rehire. That's really
maybe Jon Favreau directs the Green Lantern.
Maybe John Favreau directs BTS for their next stadium tour.
You're welcome, Hollywood. Jon Favreau directs BTS.
But that's sort of the last pro that I wanted to end off on, at least on the James Gunn video, is just the opportunities that this really presents. Because I think that in order for both companies to survive in this world, because the superhero industry, it's a bit saturated these days. And so
getting very formulaic.
Very formulaic. And so I think that once you have this really nice pool of creative individuals where you can just say, okay, you do this.
We're not going to tell you what to do.
You do what you want to do, and we'll give you the keys to it. That's the thing.
That was a big problem that Warner Brothers has had.
With all of their projects, the producers are very, very, very invested in what the directors are doing. They literally say, put stuff in that will make us more money, which is why I feel like they kind of learned that and backed off of it with Aquaman and Wonder Woman, because there's some shit in Aquaman. They packed as much movie as they possibly could into Aquaman, and I don't think any producer would say, but I think they're learning to just trust them. And it works because Aquaman is the highest grossing DC movie now. So they just need to trust their directors to just do their movie now. It's going to be better than what they can come up with. It's going to make money regardless because people like
this shit. So they don't need to worry. They just fuck you, Warner Brothers.
you got really emotional there for a second.
Yeah.
But
man, being our parent company just shut us down.
Could you imagine? They're actually listening outside.
It's the brothers.
Oh, Warner!
It's Warner!
it's Warner!
It's Warner and Warner.
But that's our James Gunn video. Let us know what you think in the comments. If you enjoyed it, I don't really care.
By the way, I'm gonna end you off with a little bit of fun trivia for this today.
Oh god.
Do you know who the guest of honor at this year's Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards are?
There's more than one?
There's like one who they're headlining is a big guess.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
You're why do you think I'm telling it to you?
Is it Dwayne Johnson? Is it James Gunn?
No, it's someone you would be like, why?
Okay, who would I be like, why?
Guess who you're gonna see fucking slimed this year?
Michael Rooker?
No.
Is that close?
No, not at all.
Oh my god, I have no idea. Who?
This year at the Nickelodeon's Kids' Choice Awards, you will see the ultimate sliming of the one and only Situation Room's Wolf Blitzer.
No!
Wolf Blitzer will be a guest of honor at the Kids' Choice Awards.
Why? What kid listens to Wolf Blitzer?
Yeah, Nickelodeon's really like, yeah, kids love the Situation Room.
They're looking at their statistics like, oh, we've got an equal number of people watching Fairly Odd Parents as we do Wolf Blitzer.
He's gonna get up to the podium and start talking about like Trump and Syria, and he's gonna get slimed.
They're gonna fucking do a pan of the kids, and none of them are gonna know what the fuck's going on. They're gonna be like,
someone's like, you got Warren Herzog there as well. But yeah, no, I hope. Please tune in this Saturday to see Wolf Blitzer get slimed at the KCAs.
This is out of date because this is probably gonna release after Saturday.
Well, then go on YouTube and see Wolf Blitzer.
Fair point. Wolf Blitzer.
Where else are you gonna be able to see Wolf Blitzer get slimed?
Dude, I feel like once it happens, it's gonna definitely be trending on Twitter.
Oh, definitely. People are gonna meme the shit out of
So
that.
this is happening Saturday?
I think so.
Okay, so...
Dude, I haven't watched the KCA since Jack Black hosted in 2006.
So on the 21st of March... actually, you know what? This might actually be out before Saturday.
You heard it here. Heard it here. Well, it's the 20th today. You're stupid.
Oh, okay. So I thought it was the 18th.
You know what? Just go on YouTube and look up Wolf Blitzer getting slimed. If you
just look up Wolf Blitzer, actually.
If you don't believe me, just go on Nickelodeon's Twitter. It's there. It's a picture of Wolf Blitzer trying to be funny, which he's not because he's a newsman. So
a video that should have been about 7 minutes, we stretched into 25. We'll see you cats in the next one. Have a good one.